We're back in the kitchen and joined in a celebrity session with the amazing Jonathan Coleman. Yes, it's you, Jonathan.
I was just looking around to see if there was a celebrity arriving.
Well, you're it. Welcome to the Vision Kitchen. Today we're going to cook a wonderful salmon and vegetable pie together.
That's good because I'm hungry.
Good.
As always.
Good. We'll sample this at the end once it's all ready.
Very good.
Now,
After
Jonathan,
I've gone.
Oh, no, we'll do it together.
Fantastic.
Now, Jono, you actually joined Vision in Linfield
I
around
did.
about 2 months ago.
Yes, I can tell you exactly how many days ago it was if you want, because I just happened to have with me the Bible.
Very, very good.
Let me just
very
tell
happy
you
to hear
here,
that. So how many
Paul.
days? What day are we at?
Let me see.
All complete too.
I know.
That's
all lies.
Excellent.
73 days.
73 days. And tell us about your weight loss in those 73 days.
About 13 kilos.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
So I was kind of recommended. I was involved with interviewing on the Jono and Dano show, AJ Rochester, and she was about to start the ill-fated excess baggage. What is it called? Excess baggage on Channel 9, and we had her on the radio talking about that. And she said, "Look, I'm doing stuff, and I lost a lot of weight with Vision. I just thought it was time for me to do something."
Excellent recommendation, I must say.
And it was also that before Christmas thing. Everyone goes a bit crazy at Christmas. Then I've got my wedding anniversary after Christmas. Then the 29th of February, I had my birthday because I'm a leap year every 4 years.
Oh, congratulations.
So it was like just multiples of danger.
Actually, this brings me to the main question. Why did you start? Apart from the contact with AJ, there must have been a reason that motivated you to get in the door.
I've always been the fat kid. I mean, even when I started on kids' TV on Simon Townsend's Wonderworld years ago, 1980,
I remember it.
I was the chubby reporter. So I've always been, and even with Jono and Dano was the skinny one, Jono was the sort of fatter one, even though it was radio and they don't usually notice that sort of stuff.
That's probably changed now though, hasn't it?
Well, Dano's, he's filled out a little bit. But I just decided, also after 16 years living in the UK and doing breakfast radio and breakfast television back to Australia for Sunrise, I just thought it was all about going out for lunch after the breakfast show and then coming home having a nap in the afternoon. And I got to, like, in British standards, about 22.5 stone.
Sure.
And it was just like bad for my heart, bad for everything.
Very true. Well, lifestyle, I suppose, really does dictate how we live our lives, of course, but you've changed dramatically, I guess.
You have to, otherwise you die.
Results. Very true.
Yep.
We'll get the recipe started. Today, we're doing a pink salmon and vegetable pie. It's basically like a basic frittata. It's going to go in the oven.
Yep.
We've got some salmon here straight out of the can. I'm just going to break this up a little bit. Jono, if you wouldn't mind being the stirrer.
Oh, yeah. I've always done that sort of thing.
Well done.
Actually, you know that they used to say when I was losing weight in the UK, because I did this weight loss program called Celebrity Fit Club on national television with like about 9 million people watching every Thursday night. They said, if it swims, it thins. If it swims, it thins.
Great
so
advice.
Fish, if in doubt, you can't go wrong with salmon, tuna, that sort of thing.
Very, very true.
Yep.
Did you get a result with that show?
I did. I won Celebrity Fit Club.
Congratulations.
And I think with me, it's always been up and down. And I've lost the weight and I'm a hero. And then I start taking my foot off the gas and the exercise goes a bit. And then maybe I have a few more. But booze and bread and cheese. And that's always been my Achilles heel.
I get you, believe me. So it's a constant thing.
Yeah.
Of course, it's easy to lose weight. It's maintaining those
That's
results.
right.
I suppose what we're going to try to educate everyone about now. We've got 300 grams going into our 400 grams of salmon, 300 grams of frozen vegetables.
Yeah.
And these are carrot, cauliflower, broccoli and beans.
Yeah. So frozen ones.
Frozen.
I guess it's good if you just come home.
Convenience.
And you can't be bothered to cut everything up and do it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, with regard to frozen vegetables, of course, these are picked when they're in season, cooked and, of course, frozen within a couple of days. The only preservative, of course, is the freezing process.
Yeah.
100 grams of shallots, just to give it some bite with the onions.
Yeah, I love anything with onions or shallots in it. And it's supposedly good for your blood. Things like onions, shallot, it sort of cleanses the blood. So, I mean, a lot of my stuff is like old wives' tales, but it seems to work for me.
It's very true.
Yeah.
We have 1 whole egg and 1 egg white going in now. This is going to be our binding agent.
Yeah. I think my wife, when she makes frittata at home, she probably goes a bit heavier on the egg content.
Absolutely.
So we can feed the 2 children and myself and her.
Bulks up the protein too.
Yeah.
We've got some sweet dried basil going in now, around about 2 grams.
Yeah. Whereas, see, I'd probably use real basil leaves.
It is an alternative as well. So this can be adapted, and we were discussing that earlier. I suppose the variations on this recipe can be many. You can change the vegetables, you can change the fish, you can do anything. We also have 20 grams of low-fat cheese about to go in, and I'm just going to put half of this cheese in. The rest of it we'll keep for the top for presentation.
And the rest of that I'll put in my pocket for later on when I'm driving
There
home.
is more if we need it.
It is funny though. I mean, the hardest thing about weight loss and keeping the weight off is when you do take your foot off the gas and you think, oh, I can't be bothered going and having a walk, or I can't be bothered going up to Vision and doing, half an hour on the machines. That's my danger point. It's like saying, oh, I come home, I've had a hard day doing the radio show or doing a TV show. I feel like a vodka, or let's just open a bottle of wine. The thing is, who's ever heard of having just one glass of wine? You know how diets say, oh, you can have a glass of wine in the evening? It's like, when do you put this cork back in?
Limiting yourself to one. I might take over that. We'll just give this a quick stir.
Was I doing that
badly?
badly?
Very true. While you're on that topic, I suppose having your session booked with your trainer makes you get to those sessions.
I think the one thing that really helps with my Vision stuff is that with Linfield Gym is so close to me, so I can either walk there, and if it's pouring with rain, I get in the car and I drive there, because before I've even thought of an excuse not to go, I'm there.
You're there. That's brilliant.
And I think that works for me. And I used to use the radio show or the TV show as an excuse to say, oh no, I can't because I've got to go and do this and then I've got to go and do that and I'm not going to be. And I just think that you've just got to, your brain tricks you all the time.
Very true.
So Paul, I guess the other thing that we have to be careful of is when you are buying tin tuna, salmon and stuff, is that I always feel like I might go for the one with a nice virgin olive oil, or the oil in it at least, or not strain it all out.
Very good point. Fat equals flavour, and we know the more flavoursome, or if you actually have the oil variety, of course, you're going to add more calories, but it does taste better. What I would encourage you to do though, most of those oils are not olive oil. I would buy the one in spring water and add your own oil if you need that flavour, so you know what's going on.
Right, that's a good idea.
This is almost done, but tell us now, you've got your food diary happening, the exercise you must be enjoying. What else do you love about the Vision experience?
Look, because it's so close to where I live, it's easy for me to go up there, and also they've got a bit of a sense of humour. You know, they're not all sort of personal trainer zombie robots. So I go up there and enjoy the music and tell them, let's put this video on, let's do that. So I think it's realistic, and there's all different sort of people that go there. There's, like the Premier of New South Wales goes up there. Barry O'Farrell's been going there for ages. And
wow.
And one day I was up there one Saturday and there's, oh, hi Barry, how are you? And he's like pumping away on the cross trainer. So I think, and I've gone up there with Margot, with my wife. She comes up with me on Saturday. I've taken my son Oscar up there a couple of times. So I think it's that sort of family vibe, and it's like people are there for all different reasons and they're all different shapes. So you can look in the mirror and you can see chubby housewives, that's me of course, and you can see myself and just all sorts of people, and it's not like a fashion parade.
Very true, but I'm happy to say that your family's involved now, because obviously the benefits are that, of course, you take home good food choices and the whole family benefits.
Absolutely, because between myself and Margot, we do the shopping, and also because of the history of heart disease and stuff in my family. My father died of a heart attack in 1988. His mother died at a young age from a heart attack. So I was told when I did Celebrity Fit Club in the UK that we all had medicals and that kind of stuff. They said, you really got to be careful about your heart. You don't want to end up like your dad. And I said, well, I don't want to end up like my dad's mother. And they said, that's even more important. So
that's a huge motivator too.
Absolutely. There's nothing like death, early death, to motivate you to be healthy, fitter.
Okay, while we're taking the lighter side of that, of course, it is an important thing. But I think it's a very, very valid point.
Yeah.
Our last bit of cheese is just going to go on top, and then we're going to pop this into the oven.
Yep.
So what's your main goal now? If you've achieved, 13 kilos to date?
Yeah.
Where do you want to be?
I want to get down to around about, probably the lowest I've been is 95, so I wouldn't mind sort of getting down to 90. And with Justin and Josh, the guys up at
Linfield?
Vision at Linfield, they've been really kind of easygoing about the thing. I'm also doing with the Starlight Foundation, raising money for this weight loss challenge.
Thank you very much. The Vision Weight Loss Challenge, the current weight loss challenge, is actually benefiting the Starlight Foundation. We have a prize of $2,500 going to that client who actually raises the most money for the Starlight Foundation. And you're an advocate?
I'm definitely an advocate. I've been involved with Starlight and with Variety and all sorts of kids charities ever since I used to do kids TV. But I know a lot of kids that have gone to that hospital, and they Starlight do a lot of really good work. And even if I win, I'm not going to claim the prize. Not that I'm competitive
Pass
at
it
all.
back to the Starlight.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that's part of it. Look, it's good for me. It's a win-win situation. If I win, it's great for me. If people want to, donate, it's great for Starlight.
Absolutely.
And, whether it's me or somebody else, who cares?
Well, thank you for that. I'm going to pop this in now to a moderate oven, 180 degrees, and it's going to take approximately 25 to 30 minutes. So we'll just pop this in and we'll continue talking.
Fantastic. You're going to plate up, because they always plate up
That's very
on
true.
all those TV cooking shows. 3, 2, 1. Move away from the... Wow.
Our salmon and vegetable pie is
Very
looking
nice.
and smelling fantastic. We will let it rest for a few moments just so that there's some hot cheese in there. Of course, we don't want to scold each other.
But don't you find that when you get scalded from boiling hot molten cheese, it does make you eat slower?
It certainly does. It might actually slow your recovery too. This is designed for 4, so I'm just going to pull out a portion now for myself and for you, Jono, and we'll give it a try.
Designed for 2.
Well, it could be.
No. Well, let's see, the thing is you could have one at night time and then you could take it cold the next day for lunch.
Absolutely. So what we are doing here is setting ourselves up so we know that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
If it was my family, they'd be going, why is he getting more? Mum, that's not fair. He just gave himself like heaps more than you're getting. That's
You can
not
have
fair.
the bigger portion. I wouldn't eat it just yet. We might just wait for that steam to sort of, pull back, but give it a try.
It's hot.
It is very hot.
But it's hearty.
Absolutely. This is our salmon and vegetable pie. Salmon, of course, with frozen vegetables, some spring onions, some low-fat cheese, egg to bind it together, and some basil. How's it taste?
Very nice. Maybe I should nip down to your cellar and open a bottle of nice dry white wine.
Okay, we might save that for the goal session. If
goal
we
se-
achieve our goal, we'll have a glass of wine with that as well.
Yeah. I was only joking about the glass of wine. I don't even miss it.
This is great. High protein, low carbohydrate meal. Fun for all the family.
Very, very nice.
I agree.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for helping. Seriously, you've been
Hey.
an absolute delight and a joy.
I won't be helping with the washing up.
Okay, no worries. We'll sort that. But thanks again, Jono. Really nice to have you here.
Pleasure. Sorry, my mouth's full.